Tony, thanks so much. Now 12 News goes one-on-one with Governor Gina Raimondo. Every Thursday, we are sitting down with the governor discussing the topics that impact you.
Brian, that's right. And today we talked about a slew of topics, everything from the upcoming election to travel restrictions to, of course, what Brandon and you were just discussing, colleges. It's something that the governor has been driving home, that she is frustrated with the outbreak on local college campuses, particularly at PC. And as we know, those cases have a trickle-down effect. It landed us on the restricted travel lists of other states, and it also is a metric for whether K through 12 schools in certain communities can fully reopen. So I asked the governor today if she would consider implementing some sort of a rule that would require colleges and universities to go fully remote. Could you say everyone has to go remote because it's having too wide of an impact on the rest of the state?
We could, and we're talking about it. And I wouldn't hesitate to do it if I thought it were necessary or effective. Here's the challenge. The biggest problems we're having with both PC and URI is the off-campus students. And what the college tells us, and I think they're probably right, is those students aren't going to move home. They'll do remote learning from their apartment and continue to party on Eaton Street and do what they do. So I'm not sure it's a solution. If anything, it might make our problems worse, because if students get driven off campus and they're just living in apartments someplace in the state and taking their classes virtually, I'm not sure we've solved the problem. So the honest answer is we are absolutely looking at it, but I'm not convinced that that would solve our problems.
So what will solve the problem? Well, the task force that Brandon reported on earlier was something that the governor mentioned, a step that the state is taking, and also implementing incentives for younger folks to follow the rules around social distancing and mask wearing. Brian?
All right, so Kim, obviously the state has oversight over our public colleges, URI for example. What about the private ones, though? Could the state order them to go fully remote?
Yeah, Brian, it's a great question, and one I made sure that I asked the governor directly. Does she believe the state has the authority? And her answer was yes. She does believe that the Department of Health could order all colleges, private and public, to go fully remote.
Obviously, we just heard from the governor there. Not sure that would be the best solution and evolution in this case, that's for sure. We'll see more from you, Kim. Thanks so much. More this half hour now in our weekly one-on-one with Governor Gina Raimondo.
Brian, that's right. I'm here at the State House where I wrapped up our interview with the governor just a short time ago. We tackled many topics today, everything from the upcoming election to the issue of travel restrictions, particularly the fact that Rhode Island is still on restricted travel lists for our neighbors, Connecticut and Massachusetts. As we know, this has been an ongoing issue, so I asked the governor exactly what the sticking point is, specifically in her negotiations with Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker. Is it likely that he's going to change his metrics, or are we just going to have to wait until our data changes?
I think he may change their metrics. The argument that I made to Massachusetts and Connecticut, particularly Massachusetts, is the reason we're on their list is because we are above 6 cases per 100,000. The reason, though, is because we're testing so much. We actually test quite a bit more than Massachusetts and almost twice as much as Connecticut.
So why isn't that message getting
So
to
what they say is, you know, we hear you, but we can't, it's hard to administer figuring out how much each state is testing. And so my retort to that is, okay, but we're your neighbor. So I think if they do anything, and I don't know that they will, but if they do anything, they'll make an exception for border states. I'm sympathetic to what they're saying, which is, hey, you can't expect us to go through the other 49 states and figure out how much they're testing. I said, fine, but we share interstate commerce together. We are bordering states. We share businesses together. So I talked to him again last week. My team is all over it, and I'm going to push on that. Having said that, the best way to get off the list is to get our cases down. I'm really upset about Connecticut and New York. That's due to the PC outbreak. That is frustrating, and that hurts for a lot of businesses. We heard from a lot of hotels, bed and breakfast owners, restaurant owners saying, all my bookings from people from Connecticut and New York just went away.
If the Board of Elections asks you to issue an executive order that would allow ballots postmarked by Election Day to still be counted even if they arrive late, Will you do that?
I'm looking at it. This one is not, like everything I deal with, it's not as simple as it seems. In concept, I think it's a really good idea. Like, I'm a believer in, we want to break down barriers to vote, and everybody ought to vote. Here's the challenge. The post office doesn't postmark ballots. So in order for this to happen, we'd have to get the federal post office to agree to postmark the ballots. And so I'm certainly not closed-minded to it. We're working with the Board of Election. We're seeing how many other states are doing it. Is it even practical in this late date to get the post office to reliably postmark every ballot? And what we are doing, though, is the Board of Elections is putting boxes out on Election Day. So if you wake up Election Day and say, oh, I forgot to put my ballot in the mail, put it in the drop box. Just get out there, put it in the drop box, and it'll get there on time.
How will you be voting? In person, early, by mail?
By mail. I'm voting. My husband and I are voting by mail.
And we'll have much more from my interview with the governor coming up tonight on 12 News Now at 5 and at 6. Brian?
Kim, thanks so much. No easy answers to any of these questions right now. Great conversation with the governor.
We're going one-on-one with Governor Gina Raimondo.
During our discussion, she touched on a wide variety of topics, including Rhode Island being on the travel restriction list in Massachusetts.
12 News reporter Kim Kalunian is live in Providence with what the governor thinks Governor Baker might do for border states. Hi, Kim.
Hey, Shannon. Hey, Mike. You know, this has been an ongoing issue, as we know, so I asked the governor what the sticking point is in her negotiations with other governors over this issue, particularly Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker. Is it likely that he's going to change his metrics, or are we just going to have to wait until our data changes?
I think he may change their metrics. The argument that I made to Massachusetts and Connecticut, particularly Massachusetts, is the reason we're on their list is because we're above 6 cases per 100,000. The reason, though, is because we're testing so much.
So why isn't that message getting
So
to your
what they
colleagues?
say is, you know, we hear you, but we can't, it's hard to administer figuring out how much each state is testing. And so my retort to that is, okay, but we're your neighbor. So I think if they do anything, and I don't know that they will, but if they do anything, they'll make an exception for border states.
And as Brandon was mentioning earlier, the outbreaks on college campuses are a major concern of the governor's. So today I asked her if she would consider mandating that all colleges and universities move to remote learning. We'll have her answer to that question coming up at 6. For now, reporting live at the State House, I'm Kim Kalunian, 12 News.
The college situation was one of the topics 12 News reporter Kim Kalunian discussed with Governor Gina Raimondo in a one-on-one interview today. Kim joins us live with what the governor had to say. Kim?
Well, Shannon, as you just heard Brandon talking about, these coronavirus cases on college campuses are a major concern, and they have an impact on the state as a whole. Everything from which districts can resume full in-person learning in their K-12 schools to where Rhode Islanders can travel without facing any restrictions. So I asked the governor today if she plans to take any action to force colleges to go to full remote learning. Could you say everyone has to go remote because it's having too wide of an impact on the rest of the state?
We could, and we're talking about it. And I wouldn't hesitate to do it if I thought it were necessary or effective. Here's the challenge. The biggest problems we're having with both PC and URI is the off-campus students. And what the college tells us, and I think they're probably right, is those students aren't going to move home. They'll do remote learning from their apartment and continue to party on Eaton Street and do what they do. So I'm not sure it's a solution. If anything, it might make our problems worse, because if students get driven off campus and they're just living in apartments someplace in the state and taking their classes virtually, I'm not sure we've solved the problem. So the honest answer is we are absolutely looking at it, but I'm not convinced that that would solve our problems.
And I did ask the governor if she believes the state would actually have the authority to do that for both public and private institutions, and she said the answer is yes. Now, what is the solution for now? The governor said the creation of that young adult task force that she announced this week, and also providing incentives to college students so that they follow the rules. Live at the State House, I'm Kim Kalunian, 12 News.